Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because we are in store for an amazing treat. We're going to be talking today about how leadership is a posture, not a position. Before I get into it, and I want to introduce our special guest that we have today, I want to let you know what is the purpose of this show. The purpose of the Freedom Friday show is to support you as an entrepreneur in really achieving your success in business and life harmony. Because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is 100% possible to stress less, strengthen our relationships, lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum, work smarter, not harder, and create your own time, money, and emotional freedom. That's what we're all about here at Another Level Living. And we have some great free gifts for you today. One of them is going to be 7 secrets to more business and life harmony. So after this, you can go head over to anotherlevelliving.com/harmony and download that free gift. I want you to give a warm welcome to our amazing special guest, Janet Krebs. Janet, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. And can I just say your intro feels like such a nice warm hug. I'm just listening to your voice. I'm like, oh, I feel hugged already.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's what we're all about here. Calm, confidence, clarity, cash flow, keeping calm, and living aloha. Because when we lead with our heart and our energy is light and beautiful, then that's what creates that prosperity for all. And that's what the whole mission is about, that freedom that entrepreneurship can truly bring. So I'm so glad and looking forward to hearing the wisdom that you're going to share with us on this. Yay! Well, let them know who you are. Okay, so Janet is a speaker, author, and strategist that helps families and influencers unleash their leadership mindset and empower them to cultivate confidence and self-resilience in themselves and others. She has enjoyed a rich career in consulting, human resources, and education. She spent over 14 years as a commander as on space flight simulation, where she impacted over 65,000 students. Wow, that's amazing. And then she also is a 4 times best-selling author and has earned her advanced degree in human behavior, because I did human computer interaction, so it's always easy to
That's
say. Human behavior, or counseling, psychology, and education. When asked her greatest accomplishment, she would answer without hesitation her 2 adult children, Benjamin and Elisa. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful, beautiful journey you've been on, Janet. I cannot wait to hear what you have to share from your wisdom on the first question that I really want to know, and is why is this topic so important? First of all, leadership is a position, not a posture. What does that mean, and why is this something that's so important for us?
well, I'm old school. So I'm over 60 now. And so I grew up in the age where leadership was the corner office within organizations. And throughout my entire life, human resources focused a lot on transferable skills, being an educator, being in the simulator, trying to get people to do the things that they did. It was like all of those transferable leadership skills, hard skills, soft skills, I don't care what you call them, they're life skills. And so I really just within the last 5 to 10 years really have been percolating this concept. And it's like, you know what? We need to get that concept, leadership, and focus not on the title of it, but the transferability of what that actually means. Because you know what? We are all walking in this world. And honestly, I believe we are all leaders. And when we step into that mindset, whatever you want to call it, accept that responsibility, this is where we're going to change the world.
Oh my goodness, so powerful. I appreciate you sharing that because you're letting us know that leadership is more than what we traditionally think. It's actually a way of living, right? It's a way of being. It's a way of transforming the world and the craziness that we see. And when we step into our leadership, then everything changes. Oh my goodness.
Everything changes. Like, and you can, and from the smallest minuscule, little example, for example, we love the ones where, moms, parents, doesn't matter, will yell at their kids to stop yelling. Like, do you even I mean, that's just such a trite little example, but it's the exact kind of thing where it's like, say what you mean and mean what you say. Model, be a role model, because you can't do that. Like the little brain just says that did not compute, right? Uh, but as a grown up, even, strong communication skills, giving safe space to the people in your family to be seen and heard, that is one of like a pillar that lands on every leadership list. If you were to go to Google University and say, what are the leadership skills? It's like top 7, top 50. Like, everyone's got an opinion. Communication skills always lands there. How are you communicating within your family? How are you communicating within your life? Do you smile when you walk into the house at the end of the day and people in your home feel as though you're really happy to see them? Are you kind to the ladies or gentlemen at the checkout at the grocery store? I mean, it's everywhere.
This is
How
something
we
that's
walk
so
this,
powerful.
yeah. And so I'll land that with how we walk this world. That is our true leadership in its in how we show it.
And what was coming to me as you were talking is like being that change that you wish to see, right? So a lot of times, especially even if you're a parent, you are a leader. And a lot of times we may not, as parents, even think that our leadership matters, but it 100% matters because our children are modeling us. And it's funny because things don't become apparent until you become a parent. Right. And there's a beautiful thing in that to be able to figure out, okay, what's going on in my inner world that I'm called to be able to let go and elevate and break free from to really be that model of excellence and that example of true leadership. I love that because it's like it's making sure that it's not this conflict between how you are in one location versus another location. Instead of having that difference, is being that example ever present 24/7 consistently,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, we prepare for the baby and then we're done, like we stop. And then we think that organically we're going to just be able to know and understand what happens next. And that's just not how it works. Like, we have to be intentional and thoughtful about what it is that we are doing. And I'm not saying every minute of every day, that sounds too much like a chore, but there are some key things that we should be really intentional about. Um, when we say yes to being a parent.
Well, what are some things, and even you can even bring it above parenting, but even like CEO and really the business life harmony perspective. What are a couple of strategies and tips that you may have to be able to share with us that can actually support us in stepping into that position even better?
Great question. I'm going to challenge you though for a second because you dropped the CEO. In my world, we are all CEOs, the Chief Everything Officer.
Yes.
Especially if you're a mom or a parent, right? You're a CEO. And I would sit down with anybody and I guarantee you I could come up with a list of transferable skills that would be able to get you back into the job market should you choose, uh, in a heartbeat, because you don't even realize the wealth of experience that you are cultivating. Uh, I work from a couple of different frameworks. Most
Okay.
coaches do, but one, because we were talking about it, and I know we don't have a ton of time, although I suspect we could talk for a really long time. You said it, and so I'm just going to land on this one. My the lead acronym, LEAD.
Okay.
The E is exemplar, right? So what kind of an example are you presenting? And you said role model. And even if you're not a parent, are you a coach? Are you a lay minister? Are you, are you a crossing guard? Like, it doesn't matter. What is the example that you can present in the world, assuming that people are watching all the time because they are?
Oh, that's so good. And it's interesting. There's this philosophy that we talk about called the one philosophy, and it's a little bit about leadership. And the E in that stands for exhibit exemplary behavior. So that part of exemplary is something that's so powerful. Oh, yes. Well, and what does the L stand for? Leadership or
L is actually legacy.
legacy?
Ask me why L is legacy.
Tell us why L is legacy.
My belief, well, actually, you know what? I don't even, it's not even my belief. Have you ever seen teacher, banker, cafeteria worker on a gravestone in a cemetery?
No,
No.
never.
You only see those roles associated with family, mother, father, brother, sister, daughter, son. And so I'm going to stand out and stand up and say that how we walk this world in our personal relationships is our true legacy.
Nice, so good because in this world where it's almost like we're overloaded by our time and overloaded by everything else, one of the biggest things that is as challenging is these personal relationships, right? And how to be able to strengthen the family unit when there's so much separation that's created,
Isn't
right?
that interesting? It's like the only thing that we choose to etch in granite forever
Ah,
is the role within family. Nobody
nice.
cares that you donated, $4 million to build the bridge or the arm of the library. I mean, people care. I don't mean to downplay that. But when you are remembered forever in perpetuity, etched in granite, it's the role within family. I just find that so interesting because we never talk about that. And we go
No,
through life
so
trying to
good.
achieve. What does that mean? And at the end of our story, what we're most remembered by is the role within family and
I
relation.
love that. I love that so much, because one of the things we talk about here is how the more life harmony your relationships, your relationship with self, with others, with God, like the more that there's harmony in that, the easier it is to be able to do your business, right? The easier it is to be able to be in the flow and create the business harmony. So I love
Honestly,
that.
even when you were reading my bio, like, I mean, I've heard it a number of times. I'm a speaker. I'm out in front of people, and that's the bio that I use because it's short. And sometimes I think to myself, who cares? But when you get to that sentence at the end about my greatest achievements are my two kids, like that's where I just start to melt into it. And it's true. I've done some really cool things, Dr. Heather. I have done some really cool things that I'm really proud of. But that's really what I'm most proud of.
So good. As you were talking, I was thinking about one of the phrases that I can't remember where I got this from, maybe one of my coaches, but he had said, people will never remember what you do. Like you can, or even if you're doing a class or a training, they're never going to remember any of that. They will remember how you made them feel, right? Seen, heard, and felt. You mentioned that before. That's something that's so powerful. Thank you for sharing this. Now I want to hear, what is the A? What does the A stand for? Yay.
A for me is accountability, but what I really want to say is A is the ABCs, And for me, the ABCs, but my daughter says that's too much. I trust her. She's in marketing, but truly, A is the ABCs, which is accountability, boundaries, and consequences. That's like a
Nice.
big, so like if we had a lot of time and we went through all of these, like that's one of the things that I can hit like in workshops and stuff. But that's a big chunk in our
It
world. That's a
is a
big
big
chunk.
chunk.
It's a big chunk.
Wow. Um, in two, like, or even in like 1 minute, can you explain accountability, boundaries, in this leadership one?
No.
No. Well,
Because
and
we didn't get to D, because we didn't get to D. And you want to know
oh,
what the D is
oh,
in
that's true.
lead,
That's
which is
true.
desired outcomes, because
Okay.
it all leads up to the vision that you have for yourself and how the people that are of influence in your world. And then how do you know, and then the desired outcomes. Like you have to have that vision for what you are working towards, because then everything else makes sense.
That makes
So
sense. Even that
let's
part of
go back to
boundaries
a very
and
simple,
accountability.
a simple example, like you're on your phone. Like we see this, I see this in airports all the time. Kids tugging on parents' legs, and mom or dad is on the phone. And it's kind of like, and then they're going to grow up and they'll be like, get off your phone, get off of that device. But meanwhile, in 3, 4, and 5-year-old kids are just watching their parents plugged in all the time, disengaged to the world. So it's a perfect example. You got to walk your talk, because you can't,
Right.
if the desired outcome is that you're not going to have a child. No, if your desired outcome is that you will have a child that is not connected to devices 24/7, then you better start modeling that and walk your talk.
So good. So good. Perfect example, especially from my IT background and human computer interaction. And that was the biggest thing that we noticed. There was all this technology, all these things, and we were losing the human connection because there was so much absorption in the human computer interaction. And I love that you're bringing that to our awareness. So, what's really cool is that you mentioned the desired outcomes is really going to support us with all those other parts of the lead acronym.
Yeah, because it's like it's a check-in, like even before this interview, my desired outcome was for us to have a robust conversation that's going to add value to your audience. What did I need to do to make that happen? I needed to show up on time. I know my topic, but let's just say I'm prepared to have this conversation with you. I gave you all the assets that you need. Like there were things that I intentionally did because my desired outcome was to serve your audience. And that's just a very off the cuff example, but in everything we do, there is a
Yes.
desired outcome
Yes.
that we
Oh,
want. So what can we do to support that? And if it doesn't support that, if you want to make more money and you're sitting on your phone for 4 hours, get off your phone because you're not making any money. That doesn't help you with your desired outcome to make extra income. You know what I mean? It's like cause and effect, accountability,
so
consequence.
good.
Put the boundaries in place so that you can, get get the outcome that you want. I mean, it's not rocket science, but we've so overcomplicated everything in our world. And I think that's part of the pulling leadership out of the corner office is to simplify the concepts that we've known for a really, really long time. And let's just apply them in our everyday world so that we all and acknowledge, give ourselves permission to have access to all of this gold that's at our fingertips and we just don't use it.
Yes, knowledge is power, but action and applied power, that's success. That's results. That's what changes and leads to transformation. Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness, Janet, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. How can we continue this conversation? Do you have like a free gift or something that we can be able to offer our audience so therefore they can get to better know you?
I do. You're going to put parent shifts in the show notes, parentshifts.com. There's a little free download, of course, when you enter your email. But I will challenge any of your listeners to take advantage. If you do that, there's more. But wait, there's more. When I have your email, I will send you a scheduling link and we will get on a call for a 45-minute family audit. If there are some things that you'd like to work through or that you're challenged with, or you'd like to know more information, whatever that looks like for you, a 45-minute call with me.
Oh my goodness, Janet, what a blessing and so amazing. That's just such a big value because your time is so valuable. So we'll make sure that we'll put that in the show notes. And everyone who is listening to the live or the replay of this, make sure you get access to that and get your link so you can have that one-on-one time with Janet. We really appreciate that gift, Janet. Thank you so
Welcome.
much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And oh, yay. I feel the hug now. I feel the warmth now. And so my last question for you is based on everything that you shared with us, what would you want, or what would your biggest takeaway to us be?
There is, I don't, is there one? Is there one? I would love to give everybody that's listening the promotion of being the CEO of your life, the chief everything officer. You are the CEO of your life. Own it, step into it. If you need some additional skills, then just acquire them and just play it out. I promise you, your life is going to get so much easier. From chaos to calm, honestly, just own it. You got this.
So what beautiful words of wisdom to be able to share with us as we depart. So everyone who's listening in Another Level Living Land, let this message marinate into your soul. Make sure you go ahead and take advantage of Janet's awesome gift to us. And also, we want to hear your wisdom too. Go ahead and let us know what was the biggest takeaway from the message that she shared today. What part of maybe even the lead analogy that spoke mostly to you? Was it the L legacy? Was it the E exemplary? Was it the A accountability and the ABCs that she talks about? Or was it D, the desired outcomes? So also, you know that sharing is caring. So if you were given the inspiration and positivity of stepping into your leadership, go ahead and share this out with the rest of the world. And so therefore they can get that example too. Thank you so much for blessing us with your presence and your wisdom today, Janet. This has been so transformational for us.
It's been a privilege for me as well. Thank you.
All right, everyone, Another Level Living Land. Look forward to seeing you again next Friday for another episode of Freedom Fridays. Make sure you recognize and remember that you have the power to be the key star player in your business and life. And when you win your inner world, you're able to master your outer world. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye, everyone.